friends, welcome back. In this video, we are going to plan the same week into 3 different planners. I did this last year and I thought it was really helpful. And now that we have the addition of the hourly, I think it's going to be even better. So I'm actually using a real week from my planner a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to scoot ahead into September and all these planners and kind of map it all out. So I think it's going to be super helpful to see how it all looks, how it all functions in the weekly, in the daily, and then in the hourly planner. So I'm going to go ahead and do it in that order. So let's go ahead and get started in the weekly planner. These are the only things I'm going to be using. Obviously, you can zhuzh it up more, but just to keep it very functional, we are just going to use these 3 tools and our planners. Okay, as you can see here, I have weekly and daisy blue. So we are going to go and look for September. It was about this week, so September 7th. So let's get started on writing it all out. This is how my week looks, say if I were planning on a Sunday. So this is how it would look before I enter anything into the days, and maybe I'll come back and do that. So let's move into what the daily would look like. So we're gonna set this aside and we'll compare all these at the very end. But our daily, and since it's broken into 2 books, here is that second half turning to September. Okay, so again, it is this week. Even though this is Labor Day this week, we're going to pretend we're not on a holiday weekend here. Here in the daily planner, we do have a weekly dashboard. So this is what I'm going to fill out first. So let's get started on that. All right, so here's what the daily planner weekly dashboard looks like. That's confusing. Bumping my lights and they are trying to take me out. If I end up dead and somehow this video gets edited and posted, just know that it was my lights. They're trying to fall on me and kill me. All right, so they're different, but they look similar. This is just condensed into this, but it's still good to see. Because on the weekly, obviously then it is done. But on the daily, you get to plan every single day. Okay, so 2 down. Let's go into the hourly, which is going to be the most different. So I am excited to see how that looks. And then we'll do all 3 comparisons somehow at the end. All right. September. I haven't been in hourly in a hot minute, so bear with me as I kind of figured this out myself. Here's what I think I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to start with I'm just going to eyeball this, whatever. Okay, I'm just going to do that here. I'm going to do my actual weekly priorities up here. I just have to cut in and say, for those of you concerned with size, I completely understand this, but I am digging the size of this right now. There's just so much room for activities. And then not having the coil right there, like, I am somebody who does not mind a coil. Rarely does it bother me, but I can just take all this real estate right now. That's lovely. Oh my gosh, am I gonna change to an hourly? I don't know. I'm having a crisis right now, you guys. All right, carry on. I'm going to grab this ruler that I have. But you know what's a major miss on my part for all my hourly folks is not including a nice plastic bookmark. Consider that changed for mid-year hourly planners. Okay, sorry for the oversight. So I am going to say... Dang it, this was for Tuesday. Mother trucker. I got so excited about this layout, I put it in the wrong time. All right, let's see. So that's the downside to doing that. You're getting pen on here and you're gonna get on the paper. Shoot, Judy. Here's the hourly weeks. I don't think I'm going to really be able to get all three on here. It's a terrible side-by-side comparison. But now let's just do one day. Since we didn't have anything going on Monday, let's go to Tuesday and see how that would look. Use the side. Wait, what am I doing? Let's just go in order. Let's not be psychos here. Let's go how we started. Okay, so on Tuesday, here is how I would do this. So that's kind of my theme for the day. And then I would put my top 3 that I really needed to get done. I'm writing at a weird angle, so please excuse the fact that sign financial docs is like one word right there. Just go with it, people. Okay, so I would say these 3 things are what I really need to get done that day. So I can just focus on that. And then when I get that done, if I am in a weekly planner, that just means I get that done and I can move on to something else on my list. These are just the most important here. So that's how planning your day and your week looks. That's what makes it super simple and really appealing. If that is your season of life where you don't want to plan every single day, you can just plan at that level, which I think is totally doable. So we're done planning our day here. Now let's move over to our daily. This is obviously going to be the most extensive. Oh, shoot, Judy. I did my top 3 up here. One of the top 3 was actually a personal side. So I always put my business or my work tasks up here and then my personal tasks down here, but we'll just go with it. I am really curious from you guys, when you are in an hourly schedule, how do you note travel time? Because I do this one thing, I've just been used to doing it, but I kind of don't like it. I'm like, there's got to be a better way. But so I would love to see that from you. Here is what I do. Okay. That tells me that is travel time. Okay, so that is how my day would look. Here, sometimes I specifically call out what the priority is. Sometimes I just do it over here, kind of depends. I don't know why, I change it up. If I had this blank then, I would put a nice little sticker right here to jazz it up. But I told you I was not gonna use anything else but these 3 things today. So that is what we're gonna go with. But that is what the day looks like here. Obviously, as you can see, it's way more extensive than when you're planning your day in the weekly. So if you love that kind of thing where you want to map out your whole day, you want to brain dump, you want lots of area, that is how I would do that. So here's what it would look like throughout the day. I would be making notes right here. And then down here, I reflect on the day, just a few sentences. And right here in this area, if I needed to make a list, this is where I would put the list. That is the daily. Now, lastly, let's do our day in the weekly. So we're doing Tuesday, right? Yep. So it's nice. I already have that laid out time-wise. So this is going to be similar to the weekly in that it's going to be way easier to do. Your biggest lift is going to be at the beginning of the week, and then planning your day is going to be a lot easier. Appointments day, that just looks naked right there. Maybe I'll do a star because why not? Clearly don't have as much room here as you do anywhere else in the other planners, and that's okay. You just have to kind of shorthand it. Dang it, I put that on the Wednesday one instead of the Tuesday one. Okay, as you can see, I'm so not used to writing in the hourly planner. So forgive me for just not even being in the right columns. Unless you get the idea. So here is what that looks like. Compare the 2. Okay, so this is what that day looks like here. And this is what it looks like here. and kind of here. That what that would look like. And then the daily looks like that. We're talking about the actual weekly look. I think the weekly and the hourly are the closest in looks. But when we're talking about actually planning out our day, I would say the hourly and the daily are most similar in that you can map out your day schedule. All right, and then the last thing that I think I want to say is if I had to make a list. So let's just say we are doing a bring to OT list. Here is how I would personally do it. You do not have to draw this line. You could just use this as your separate line. Okay, so that was what I would do for the daily if I had to make a list. Oh, see, no, I didn't go in the right order. Gosh darn it. Well, let's just screw it all up, shall we? Okay, in the hourly, here is what I would do. Since this is a much longer list, I'm gonna say. Okay, so that is what I would do. That is where I would do that list, and maybe just so I could utilize this later, I might just do that. Maybe I wouldn't even put a line there. And then lastly, for this weekly, here is where, this is where I would make my list. So there you have it, friends. So we have our weekly, we have our daily, and then we have our hourly. All three of them have amazing things going for them. They all would work in really any season of life, but I think depending on your season of life, one of these is going to be the best for you. For those of you who don't know either, or in a possible crisis as well, I have over on the website, I have Planner Pack. It's a printable, it's completely free. I'll put the link in the notes. Grab this pack. It has all three layouts. It actually has the monthly layout as well. So it has this layout, it has hourly layout, it has the daily layout. It actually has two daily layouts. So it has the weekly dashboard, a day, and then 2 more days as well. So it gives you about 3 days to plan that one. And then it has the weekly layout. Each layout had to be shrink down to its own 8x11 piece of paper so that everybody can print it, but you still get the idea of it and the feel of it. So grab that, again, totally free. Print it out and try planning on all of them. You can print out as many times as you want, obviously. You could do this if you want your hand to hurt, where you could just try all of them in 1 week and see what feels best and most intuitive to you. People have said that's really helpful to them. So I would love for you to use that as a resource. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you didn't know what to do, which to decide, that maybe this was helpful to you. Unlike me, who this actually was very confusing. But hopefully you can see maybe what would work best for you. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.